Hello, hello, absolutely beautiful friends, and welcome to another live weekly astrological forecast that we're going to dive into here together in just a moment. Very excited to be here with you guys. I've been enjoying doing these live and getting to see you a little bit in the chat. It feels like a nice way to end the week before we get ready to go into the week. So hopefully these are working out and becoming something that feel kind of good to you guys as well. Now I will be traveling a bit as we get more into April, May, June, and July. So we might have to go back to some pre-recorded ones for a little bit, but as many times as I can get on live with you, I will absolutely be here because I enjoy it. This is some of my favorite time. Now, if you are here to listen to some astrology, that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to get into the weekly astrological forecast for the week of April 11th. And this week is the week. There are intense energies. There's some big stuff coming up. The Jupiter and Neptune conjunction is finally going to happen. We're gonna get it going on over here. So there is just a lot going on in the sky, lots to cover. So let's jump into this thing, okay? Now, first of all, as I'm meeting with you today on the 10th, we've had some energies in the sky early in the day. We welcomed, Mercury and Pluto into their square today, and that has been an intense amount of energy. And just depending on where you are and how this is expressing in your own particular energy will tell you what your experience was. There's a great range, a spectrum of how this can be expressing. But as Mercury and Pluto come together and square each other, one of the first things that it can do is you're aware of a depth. There's a depth to my being. There's a depth to my thinking. There's a depth to the information I'm receiving. Maybe there's even something that feels like there's some probing going on in some way. Now, it can also feel like you're paranoid or you're a little suspicious about what's going on. I tend to find that when Mercury and Pluto square each other, sometimes what it feels like to me is it can hit me in I feel a little bit less than, like an insecure kind of energy. And then that is perfect because it gives me the place to know exactly where to probe, where to look at what's going on. Why is this rising to the surface? Where am I not moving in alignment with my own being? Or where do I need to look at doing something in a different way that I think represents my current self, more accurately? So whatever this energy has looked like for you today, it is a probing, it is a depth information. If you needed to have a deep conversation, if you needed to think more deeply about something that you are trying to wrap your head around, this is definitely the energy for it. Now, as we are meeting at this particular moment, we have welcomed Mercury into the energy of Taurus. Now, this is always an event, right? Because Mercury is our messenger energy. So it wants to go, gather facts, gather information, boom, 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 right? It's a very flickery, flitty kind of energy, but it slows down. It comes to almost a nice little crawl in the energy of Taurus. So not Mercury's most comfortable placement because it doesn't get to gather information as quickly as it would like to. However, in the energy of Taurus, it gets to gather information thoroughly, right? We're going to slow down, be into the details. We're going to think more practically, communicate more practically. We're going to make decisions that are pretty grounded, pretty balanced, right? These are the energies. These are the things we could find ourselves taking on as Mercury's in the energy of Taurus. Now, something else to consider as well is that because Mercury has flown over here through the energy of Aries, where we started a project, got an idea, flip, 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 we initiate, go, 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 let's start something. You need to have a fixed sign hold it down for you after the cardinal sign gets it started. So we get to see that with Mercury here. What's that idea over this last 4 or 5 weeks that you've had coming in? You've been bringing it into your space. You've been thinking about it, and then you finally launched it out. And now Taurus is going to help you be grounded enough to make that thing happen, or to think your plan or your strategy through quite fully. Now, keep in mind that we're only going to see Mercury traveling through Taurus until April 29th. And then Mercury is going to move forward into the energy of Gemini. And then it will retrograde back into the last degrees of Taurus. And we'll see that starting to kick off May 22nd, and the retrograde will end June 3rd. So whatever you're also studying the course for, making these solid decisions around, you're going to be able to back up and relook at that and just make sure you've really got it solidly in place so that you can roll it into the mutable season of Gemini. So lots of energies available for us on the table just right now today. Now let's get into tomorrow. Okay, here we are showing up bright and bright Monday on the 11th. And what a week we're coming into with the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction, right? So first of all, we're going to get to Monday, to the 11th. And I think it's a nice way to kind of broach into the week where we've got the moon traveling through the energy of Leo. It's big, it's bold. The sun is also in fiery Aries energy. So it is a bit of a fiery Monday, but just keep in mind that Monday in and of itself is a moon day. So it's sacred activities around the moon, right? Maybe I need to be a little bit more slow. I need to be a little bit more silent. Maybe I'm protecting and preparing my space for what's next, but it is still fiery bound with the sun and the moon in fire signs. So you can find yourself being busy tomorrow. You really, truly could, okay? Now, as we get to the 12th, we're going to see Jupiter and Neptune come together for their conjunction. And if you've not heard all about the Jupiter and Neptune conjunction up to this point, a couple of things to keep in mind: that Jupiter and Neptune do come together about every 13 years, but they don't come together in the same sign. Okay, so they're constantly switching signs. So we haven't seen these two being together in over a century. So it's a pretty big deal that we have it back on the table. And, you know, I've heard people say that they're really like paranoid or really afraid of this particular transit that's going to be going on. And what I want to tell people is keep in mind, they're coming together to make it exact on the 12th, but the waves of this energy have already been coming through. They're already in our wavelength, right? So depending on where you are in your balance of your Piscean energy and your expression and evolution, you're already experiencing this. The intensity will go up because they are both planets that are further away from us. I don't think that we should be expecting on the 12th that Jupiter and Neptune are going to come together and voila, here's the thing. Instead, it's like a slow peel, slow crawl, kind of anything is possible for you energy that unfolds over time. But we've already got the vibration in our waters already. Where are you making the connections with things around you? Where are you feeling kind of I almost want to call it a celestial or an intuitive oneness with some information in your life that is trying to end, right? Some things are trying to dissolve. They're trying to leave. They're trying to leave your Pisces areas because they're trying to make space for what's next. I think that the other piece of Jupiter and Neptune that can be very scary, but also can be very useful, is that I don't think that there is a combination of energies that come together that deliver more honest humility than these two, because it makes us stop and pause and realize we are a part of a great cycle that is not independent from the people around us, that it is not independent from this realm to that realm. It is a continuum. We are in it. We're doing the dance of the spiritual school here, right? But also because they're coming together in Pisces, they tap into the greatest ideals that we have for ourselves. So sometimes what this can look like is like a spiritual awakening, where that is the place of the truth for us, right? Where our spirit calls to us to say, this is actually what we're on the mission to do. This is actually the alignment that we need to make. And it calls to us at the level of our greatest ideals. And then we have to step out and be prepared to construct our lives around the truth that we've learned spiritually. And some of that really is, I had to dissolve this particular thing or dissolve this set of thinking in order to make space for my potential to be actualized over here. And I will be so interested to see who gets up on the 12th and is like, Stormie, listen, I arrived. The spiritual folks came and got me. I have arrived. I really feel like it's more of a slow peel, that by the time we're traveling to the fall, you're going to be able to say, wow, I can really look back constructively at that thing in my life at this time and realize that my actions, my attitudes, my behaviors were not in alignment with my greatest ideals and potential. And now I am ready to move forward. And truly, some of it is interesting because we have these situations, relationships, dynamics, partnerships in our life that objectively are not bad. They're not bad, but something about them is not alive. There's not life, there's not wellness, there's not vitality to it. And we have decisions around this energy, because it's a long-term transit. We have this energy where we've got to decide where we're going to be inspired or speak breaths of life into these areas of our life to bring them back, to resuscitate that bad boy, or to decide that I don't have any more air to give into this situation. And at which point it can be, maybe we need some training, I need some help, I need some therapy, I need some guidance, or you have to decide, I'm going to be letting it go. And it may take some time. It may take some time. Now, the Sun and Saturn are also going to be sextile in this particular energy. And I think that that's really important, because the Sun here is governing an energy that says the decisions that you are making, you are taking opportunities to lay the most solid foundation that is available for you. You are laying the groundwork. You are taking action and making decisions towards progressing to your future, right? You're innovating. So whatever it is that's happening, remember, you are supported cosmically, spiritually, in the level of truth towards your own innovation as this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction comes around. Now, I do want to, because we can't, it's just not all sugar and butterflies. There will be low levels expressions of this Jupiter-Neptune conjunction. And it can be absolute delusion, right? It can be absolute delusion. And we can see people expressing this in ways of like trying to fill spiritual holes with physical things, whether that's people, alcohol, I'm eating too much, I'm shopping because I'm just trying to make myself comfortable. Sometimes we can see that if we have immune issues or we've got neurological issues, this can actually set some of those off, where it kind of feels like it's really, really busy. There's paranoia, what's going on. And what it calls for those of us that are not experiencing that, is to pour on a ton of compassion. And compassion doesn't mean put your boundaries down, right? Nobody gets to be over here doormatting, but it does mean that we have to look objectively with sacred eyes instead of just human eyes, right? We bring them both and we lend compassion to the situations around us. And I also do think we have to lend compassion to ourselves as well, because many of us are going to be making big decisions out there which seem crazy. They're going to seem crazy at the time, and your mind and your heart may feel like they are in two different planes with this. So let's extend that compassion to others as well. It is quite big out there. Now, in the global family, I can say that I really do think that we are going to see some dissolution of all sorts of things over this next 6 months. I think it will just absolutely be huge, but that is a conversation for mundane astrology, okay? All right, so let's move on. Now we're going to get to the 14th, okay? And Mars is going to enter into the energy of Pisces. So now we've got Mars, who's ready to hustle and shuck and jive and run and roll and be about it and get it done in the energy of Pisces. So instead of, I always equate this to water aerobics, right? Because in water aerobics, like you're doing it, like you're getting your heart rate up. It is so good for burning calories. Like really, it's phenomenally good on the body, right? Because you're so buoyant, but you're like not going anywhere quickly. You are doing the power jog, but like in place. But so where you have to really tap in to understand how effective you're being is understanding the intuitive, the emotional, the science behind what you're doing so that you don't think you're just splashing yourself with water in your face while you're going. And I do want to say that I love water aerobics, okay? Any reason to put on a swimsuit and be cute is pretty much something I'm into. Anywho, when Mars does move into Pisces, action will be more internal, I think, honestly, because it's going to be spiritually motivated. It will be towards the vibration a bit more of compassion, of maybe I don't feel like I need to be a part of a traditional flow. I feel like I have to trust my intuition. I need to take care of my emotional life. I need to do things that feed me spiritually. I need to cut some of these spiritual and karmic ties and cords that I have with other people. I need to do I may be faced with confrontation, and Mars in Pisces doesn't always love that action. So we're having to find compassionate routes around dealing with the things that come up to our table. Now, other things, though, that may feel absolutely phenomenal are restorative practices, right? Take action to restore your body. Mercury is in the energy of Taurus right now. What does your nighttime routine look like to create something lavish and delicious and decadent for yourself before you're laying down at night? And trust me, I was raising small babies, trying to have a decadent nighttime routine, and it had to look very different. But it's these seasons where we get to check in and use the energies available to us well to create space and time to rest and to restore and to allow our bodies to adapt to the world and the vibration that we're in. After Jupiter and Neptune send out their blast, that kind of vibration, we need to acclimate. Right? So what are you doing with Mars here in Pisces that allows you to restore, allows you to bring in inspiration, maybe allows you to speak inspiration out into the world, but whatever it is, it's going to need to align in a way that is intuitively and I think spiritually a bit easier on the system than what we always have to offer, right? Now, the excitement doesn't even stop there, right? We've still got on the 16th this beautiful full moon happening in Libra. And if you haven't watched your full moon in Libra video, make sure you check that out in the April playlist, or you can just click on my channel and find it there. However, the full moon says that something needs to be ended, acknowledged, and adjusted. Keep in mind that this moon is like sandwiched in between two other lunar events. This is a 3-moon month, and they are all bringing a flavor to us this month. So the emotional life, the intuitive life, the life of endings is really very pronounced for us this month because we need to get busy starting what's next and moving in that next direction. Now, the full moon here in Libra is like going to be looking at balance. We're looking at balance. We're looking at where's the me in the we dynamic in my life, right? Where is there too much of me or not enough me? Where am I taking on too much or people pleasing to keep the peace with other people? Where do I need to look at rearranging my dynamics in my relationships? These will be powerful connections. And again, because this is a full moon, I don't think that every full moon means you're going to break up, get divorced, or anything like that. But if there are cracks in the cement of your relationships, whether that's you and God, you and your higher power, you and your kids, you and yourself, you and your relationship, you and your business partner, if there are cracks in the cement, the full moon turns those lights on really bright so that we can get busy working on them, because we have to work on them and get those cracks sealed or it will split. Right? That's just the nature of vibration. Okay. So depending on where you are at in those lessons, in those relationships, will depend on what it looks like. But I also think that because it is a lunar event and it really brings it home into the emotional body and into the spiritual body, I think we become aware of what we need in our relationship dynamics. And instead of being this fearful thing, it can be this phenomenal place of conversation with the relationships in our life to balance out and say, what does everybody need here? Or what do I need? Maybe I need that decadent, delicious nighttime routine to come back into partnership with my own self, with my own body, right? This is a great moon. Are you treating your body like a partner? Are you treating your body like a slave? Like, what are you doing, right? So all of these different opportunities to look at partnership will become available. And I go much, much, much more in depth in the Libra video. So make sure you pop over there and check it out, okay? On the 17th, we have got Mercury in a sextile to Venus. Now, when Mercury and Venus come into a sextile, first of all, the sextiles are phenomenal because they offer us not only a pocket of opportunity, right? There's an opportunity, I can take it, it can be really great for me, but in a sextile, the opportunity is offered, and I'm also intelligently taking action to get and take advantage of that opportunity that's offered. So I think that this is like, okay, just based on placement alone, right, at this particular point, right? We've got Mercury in Taurus, Venus is obviously over in Pisces. So when you get the earth water sextile, it can be a bit more, I feel like it's romantic. I feel like there's a lavishness to it that's very much so like, let's do beauty. Let's do bringing a little water and a little earth. Let's create some mud. Maybe you want to hang out. Maybe it's a sensual time for you. Massages, body oil. And I'm not just telling you this because I'm a Taurus, okay? I mean, I am telling you this because I'm a Taurus, but also this is a phenomenal earth, water, transit to use to your greatest benefit, especially if these energies recently have felt particularly hard to you or on your system. Man, back up, take care of yourself, take care of your partnerships, put some romance in there, rub that massage oil into your heels if they are cracked, okay? Like whatever needs love, use the sextile to take advantage of it. But I also do think because we just had this huge vibration in Piscean energy, this could be offering you an opportunity to get a second chance on an opportunity that you just couldn't take advantage of before. So you can watch for that to be back. It's a little bit of a daydreamy energy though. I can't lie to you. It's a bit of a daydreamy energy to be working with. So lots going on this week, lots to be taking advantage of, lots to be thinking about. And even as I'm thinking about it, as we're going to roll on the 17th, we've got Mercury coming into a conjunction with Uranus and Taurus. And so when these two, this is a lot of electrical energy. Now, what's great about it is you could uncover, discover, and discard different ways of doing something. Like you innovate your thinking, you innovate your process, for some odd reason, you end up going on a small trip or something that takes you even within your city in a different direction that you were used to going. There's a sense of innovation that is available in the realm of working with both Mercury and Uranus as those two come together. I want to just get you prepped with a little idea moving into the next week. We're going to cover it when we get to your weekly forecast next week. But as we're approaching and getting ready for April 19th, we're going to see a big shift in the energy. It's not an uncommon one, but I think it does bring a big shift from what we've been experiencing, and also a level of shift because the anxiety will be down. But we're going to see the sun leave that energy of Aries and move into the energy of Taurus. The other reason I think it's important for us to just know where we're going is because this is going to really kick off our energy for the eclipse seasons with Taurus, okay? Now, I've already talked about it a little bit in previous videos, but you can back up to November 2021 and see what you were starting, what was going on, what was changing for you in the Taurus areas of your chart, because the sun moving here is a signal again that, okay, we're back in, we're going to work on this again, and this is going to be a solar eclipse. So it's going to be a shift of energy I think we really want to pay attention to. So as you're thinking about that in the context of this week, and you're getting ready to move to next week, everything we're doing is a guided set of steps, is a guided set of actions. If you listen and you move with that intuition, it is leading you to where you're going, towards the destiny point. Because remember, these eclipses are going to happen in that alignment there with that north node. These are destiny poles. This is the time when we're talking about this eclipse that lives get changed. Lives get changed under this. So I'm sending you so much love and positivity. And I would ask for each of you out there, to the extent that you can also step outside, face east for a minute at the beginning of the day, face west at the end, and just offer out compassion and support for your fellow man. Expect to receive that back threefold. We're not all having the hard season of our life. So if you're not in it, please be a lifeguard on duty to just send out that love if you've got it available to do so, okay? And if you are one of our friends who's going through your season, everybody gets to the bottom of the wheel sometimes. We're sending you love. There's a built, beautiful community here also sending you some love and support as well, even if your own tribe looks like it might be lacking just a little bit. So I love you guys a ton. Thank you so much for spending another little bit with me on a Sunday afternoon leading into our weekly forecast. I'm sending each and every one of you love. I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. We'll be walking through everything that's coming up next in the next couple videos and as we hang out around this community. So, all right, my beautiful friends.